What's going on, fam? This is Dave coming at you from Philadelphia, and I'm testing out a new platform here, doing a little StreamYard action. And today I want to talk about a topic: fear or freedom. Now, we have a choice every single second of every single day. Do we want to live in fear? Do we truly want to live in fear? Or do we want to live with faith and freedom? Now, the fruits of each one of these cause different responses in our body, mind, and soul. And today I want to share with you a couple things of what the effects of stress are on the body. Now, I wrote an article about this not too long ago, and basically what happens to your body when you start allowing stress on your body, and what happens to you physiologically, mentally, and how it deteriorates your mental processes and starts manifesting physically in your body. Now, this fear response that we have to understand that fear is addictive. That's why we are bombarded by it. The big conglomerates, the corporations, the media, social media have all realized that fear is so addicting. It's the most addictive thing in the world because it produces a response in us that produces that fight or flight response in our body. And that feeling is why scary movies are so popular, and why, I love them myself. They're a lot of fun to watch. And that's why a lot of times the mistake that I made, I was consuming content that made me feel outraged, that made me feel fearful ultimately. But in essence, it was tearing me apart inside because I was only surrounding myself with that stuff. And it was really a self-fulfilling prophecy of destruction. And it was the more that I felt bad, the more I wanted to consume. It's like any other addiction, whether that be drugs, alcohol, social media, food, gambling, anything, really, 7 deadly sins. The more you do of it, the more you want of it, but you'll never feel fulfilled in the end. So I just want to go over these things, these effects of stress here. And what are the emotional signs of stress? Crying spells and bursts of anger. Now, I have been known to have some crying spells before. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't too tough to not admit that. I will have some personal responsibility, but mainly mine was bursts of anger. Mainly that took to the people that I loved and people that I was closest with. And that's what it manifested in that. And the reason was, once you have some self-responsibility and self-reflection, you can see that it's all stems from fear. Really, everything bad in our lives stems from fear. And we're not putting freedom, we're not having faith in anything. And it's like I said, it manifests in these symptoms right here. Difficulty eating. I stopped eating. You know what? Same deal. Losing interest in daily activities. Stop going to the gym. That's one thing I would suggest if you're ever feeling down, if you're ever feeling depressed, anxiety filled, if you're feeling fearful for your job, for your relationship, for anything in your life, get your butt to the gym. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel better. There's one better thing, even more to do that, but I'll get to that in a second here. Increasing physical distress symptoms such as headaches, stomach pains, really like stomach ulcers are a huge issue with that as well. If you're constantly having stomach ulcers, it's not just what you're eating. It's not that you're allergic to milk. A lot of it is fear-based and stress-based. Fatigue, feeling tired all the time. That also comes with depression, anxiety, not being able to sleep, insomnia. Feeling guilty, helpless, or hopeless, and avoiding family and friends. That is really some big ones right there. And you really have to look out for that. And can stress make you sick? But when you feel guilty, helpless, and hopeless, you have to understand a lot of times that you have to live in the day, and you have to live as if you are changing and manifesting what you are concentrating on. If you constantly surrounding yourself with negativity, with things that make you fearful or are outraged or appalled, that's what I was doing for a lot of times. And that's going to manifest all the terrible things that come along with that. A lot of people are making a lot of money by playing off our fears right now. And we have to understand that they don't care about you. They are making money, a lot of it. That's how you control the masses, through fear. All of these symptoms right here are how you control the masses. I mean, these go back for a long time, going back to 2004, I think, some of these. But regardless, we got to understand this, that we got to make a choice every second of every day. If we want to live fearful, we're going to start manifesting anger, hostility. No one's going to want to be around you. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose family members. You are going to isolate yourself, and you're going to be in a bad way. For real, for real. It's just not good all around. It blocks your connection to God. It blocks all of the good things that should be manifesting in your life. You know, Napoleon Hill says your mental attitude is the one and only thing that you have control over. And that couldn't be more truthful than anything I could ever heard before, honestly. When I heard that, not even a couple days ago, I'm like, you know what? This is something I knew deep down, and I've heard it several times before. But really, when I didn't understand what it really meant, because I was surrounding myself with a lot of negative things, and like, you know, it's easy to with the world right now because there's a lot of crazy stuff happening, but it's all self-fulfilling. And if we want to change the world, we got to change ourselves first. We got to live in freedom. We got to live in faith. We got to live in love. We got to live purposefully. We got to live with enthusiasm. We got to live with bringing people together. We got to live by showing the way out of that destruction, out of that attitude that only brings death and destruction, fear, anger, hostility, division. That is of Satan. It's of the devil. The devil made me do it, baby. But it's true. All these things, all these sins, they make us feel good at the time. It feels good to be angry sometimes. It feels good to be fearful. It feels good to hate sometimes. You get that fight or flight pumping. You get it pumping. And that's what happens. I mean, what are some physical signs? Blah, blah, blah. Like, why? What does high stress feel like? That blood pressure goes up. That fight or flight instinct kicks in. That adrenaline starts pumping. Your dopamine starts pumping. It feels good. But in the end, it destroys you. And if you keep that process going, it's going to slowly eat away at your soul. And the next thing you know, you're just a shell of yourself. You're just a caricature of your former self, a morbidly twisted caricature. You gain weight. It starts manifesting sores on your face and your body and your skin. You start getting skin. You start eating like crap. You start eating pizzas every night. You start like not eating nutritiously. You don't go to the gym or exercise anymore. You stay inside. You're afraid of the light. You're afraid of the light. Because that light is going to shine. That light's going to shine all those imperfections. And that's why it's a spiral. And you got to get out of that. So, you know, we really got to get away from that. And like I said, Norman Vincent Peale says, if you want to change the world, you got to change the way you think first. Individually. And it's going to spread. That joy, that peace is going to spread, and people are going to be like, I want that. I want what that dude's got. I want what that chick's got. You get away from all the things that are causing us harm. Because, you know what? Hurting people hurt people. But also loving people love people as well. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to do some more of these. I like this platform here, StreamYard. So, we'll do some of these videos. I'm going to get back to doing some dailies, start doing some cooking videos as well, see how that works out. And we'll keep it going. You're going to change the world. We're going to change the world because life is good, baby. And the birds are going to win tomorrow. I'll see y'all. Have a great weekend. Peace.